Hey there, it's Mark from Men Who Bullet. Make sure to also follow us on Instagram at Men Who Bullet. Today's Plan With Me video is going to be a quick one because we're going to review a running list. This is a really easy to do spread that can take you less than 5 minutes to set up as you're getting ready to start planning for your week. So let's go ahead and start reviewing some materials. First thing you want to go with is a fine tip pen. I'm a really big fan of the Uniball Signo DX. Go ahead and take a pencil. This is going to be really great for some early first lines and spacing. I'm also going to do some hand lettering for a header, so I'm going to use this Eco Line brush pen. You're also going to need a highlighter. I'm going to use one of the Zebra Mildliners for some vertical accent lines. And then finally, a ruler, keeping those nice straight edges as we're designing. So let's go ahead and open up our bullet journal. Now, what I love about a running list is it does only take just a few minutes to set up, and all it really is just a vertical running list of tasks. Now, it only takes one page to set up. You don't need more than one. However, if you want to do a 2-page spread, you can most certainly set up a running list on one side and task or health trackers on the other. So for this 1-page spread we're going to do for this running list, I'm going to give myself 8 squares from the top of my page. That's because I'm going to do some hand lettering for the top header of this page as we go through. So we'll go ahead and count down 8 spaces from the top of the page and just make a small mark so we know where we're going to be creating that space. Then from there, I'm going to skip another square and create another one because that's where I'm going to start to add in the days of the week. Now, I'll start to just pencil these in up front because I just want to make sure that I get the spacing correct. Now, the spacing you see on the screen right now is how I set up this page. It's 7 from the left-hand side, Monday through Sunday. We're going to skip 1 space. We'll use the next space for the letter N, and then from there we're going to skip over 3 spaces and just draw a small vertical line. And this is just visually for me to know as I'm setting out my page and starting for my tasks where I'm going to start those. Now, the reason that I'm keeping those 3 spaces between N for next week is because I'm going to add a small detail that's going to connect a task on the left-hand side with a horizontal line that'll take you over to the task. Again, it's all about creating some visual consistency and drawing these together so you know what's going on. Because everything is tight and compact, it can easily get a little disorienting and you don't know what day of the week you have your task set up for. So real quick, I'm just going to ink in my Monday through Sunday along with N for next week. And then I'm going to add a detail on here for myself, just adding the numbers of the days of the week so that I know what day I'm trying to get what task done. Now for these vertical lines we're going to create, I'm just going to use the Mildliner here. The reason I'm using this first instead of adding the highlight over top of my pen is because with the Signo DX, anytime I use that pen, it's a little bit inkier, and when I write with the highlighter, it usually smears the ink. So in this case, we're actually using the highlighter as a visual piece instead of a functional highlight, so I'll just draw those in first. Now at the top, I've been really working on my hand lettering. I try to get better with it all the time, so I find the best way to practice is to include it in my bullet journal, and these Eco Line brush pens are absolutely amazing watercolor brush pens. I highly recommend them. If you ever wanted to try to get into it, they're really nice and easy to use, and they look really cool inside your bullet journal. So how are you going to go wrong with that? I'm going to add a slight detail in here. So really for me, so I know what month I'm in, because I need that reminder constantly, I'm going to do some faux calligraphy. And faux calligraphy is really easy to do. You simply write out your word in cursive, but then on all of the downstrokes, you'll create an extra thick line and then color that in. And it looks as if you've done it in cursive or in calligraphy, and you really haven't. But it makes it look really cool, and I like the extra detail. So now that we've got our page set up, let's just kind of go over the pieces. We've got our header, we've got our days of the week in numbers as well as our verticals. And then again, we've got our extra line 3 spaces out from our N for next week, because now we're going to start adding in some tasks because I want to show you how you would use this space. Because what we're going to do is create the tasks on the right-hand side, go ahead and draw those out. And then we're going to create a square on the left-hand side under the day of the week that we want to get that task done. So I'm going to quickly write out some examples of things that I might have on a running list. So you could be meeting with friends, meetings at work, and also maybe repetitive tasks that you would do throughout the week, like watering plants. The whole point of a running list is just to keep all of your thoughts going in a straight line and then connecting them to the left-hand side as you're booking the days that you want to accomplish those tasks. Now, some of those aren't going to be a singular day. Some of them might actually be on 2 different days. So for the task about watering my plants, I might end up doing that on a Monday and a Friday. So I'm going to create 2 task boxes on that same horizontal line to connect over to that task to get them done. So I've gone ahead and drawn in some squares to show you examples of how this could work. So as I'm creating these tasks, what I'm doing is actually also going to draw a horizontal line from the task box over to the end of where that third square is that we left space for. Now, the reason for doing this is strictly just to connect what's happening on the left side in the day of the week to the task that's on the right. Because everything is so tightly compact, it's easy to get kind of disoriented in that space of the task on the left-hand side, and if I follow my eye over, which one does it actually connect to? Now, the other thing I like to do with these check boxes is all kinds of stuff, actually. You could simply X out the box if you wanted to let you know that the task has been done. I also like to draw patterns inside of these boxes because when you have enough of these around each other and connecting or multiple throughout the week, it really does create a nice visual on a relatively basic looking running list. You can also do other things like fill in half squares for work in progress, or again, whatever you like to do. It's your bullet journal, so make it work for you. Now, one thing I've added that I haven't seen on other people's running list is the end for next week. I find it really helpful for me personally to think of things that I may have to get done in the future that I might need to migrate forward, even in my own current week. So without creating a notes section or something else, I just add it right to my running list, give it a task box, and that way, when I'm ready to know that I need to migrate it on that following week, I see it right there underneath end for next week, and when I create it on the other page, I simply create the notification that I've migrated it forward. So this is the whole running list. Even though this video is a little bit longer because we've taken it step by step, a running list really should take you no more than about 5 minutes to create. It's really easy, it's simplistic, and the whole purpose, again, is just to make sure that you're keeping track of what's going on during the week and connecting it to the left-hand side so you know when you want to accomplish that task or maybe even when you actually accomplished that task. So let me know in the comments below if you're trying this out for yourself and how it worked for you. And if you're posting pictures on Instagram, be sure to tag me at menwhobullet so that I can see the fantastic work that you're doing for yourself with your running list. I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video today. Make sure you subscribe below. We've got more videos on the way for you to try when setting up your very own bullet journal.